Imagine your entire life, all your hopes, your unlived dreams, and the future you secretly envision for yourself, being decided tonight, not by a lottery win, not by a stroke of fate, but in exactly 7 syllables. Are you brave enough to take this risk? You clicked on this video because a part of you knows there has to be more than what you're currently experiencing. You feel that there are hidden levers, secret switches in the engine room of reality. And you're right. A few weeks ago, a viewer named Marcus wrote to me, a man in his mid-40s, trapped in a job that was eating his soul, with debts that felt like a noose around his neck. He told me he had used a specific technique for a single night, which he had heard about here. The next morning, he wrote, a former colleague he hadn't spoken to in years called him and, out of the blue, offered him a partnership in a project. A week later, his message said his bank account was in the 5-figure positive range. Coincidence? Luck? Or did he make a deal with the universe that night? I will give you the exact word, mantra he used in a moment. Not at some point, not at the end of this video, but step by step, word for word. But you have to understand, every night you don't use this formula is a wasted opportunity, an entire parallel universe of possibilities that passes you by unlived. So be sure to stick around, because these 7 words are like a code, and every word is part of the combination. Especially word number 4 is crucial. It is the word that will shatter your deepest self-doubts. If you miss just this one word, everything else will have been for nothing. But before we crack the code, we must understand the man who gave us the key. Who was Carl Jung, really? Forget the image of the old, wise professor in an armchair. Jung was the man who dissected the human soul like others carve a Sunday roast. He was a mystic in the guise of a scientist, an archetype rock star who broke away from his teacher Sigmund Freud because he found Freud's view of humanity too shallow, too banal, too confined to the ground floor. Jung descended into the crypts of the human psyche, to where the old gods and demons still live. He knew about the power that slumbers in the depths. One of his most famous sentences, and this is the seal, the authority on which everything that follows is based, is, "Words are the most powerful drug used by mankind." Think about that sentence. Not a weapon, not technology, but words. Words shape our reality. They can lift us to heaven or plunge us into the deepest despair. But Jung went a step further. His most revolutionary idea was that of the collective unconscious. He postulated that we are all connected beneath the surface of our personal consciousness to a vast, ancient network of knowledge, symbols, and energies. A kind of psychic internet that carries the entire history of humanity within it. And this is where it gets interesting for you. This collective unconscious is not just a passive archive. It is the supply chain for your desires. It is the mechanism through which thoughts and intentions can take form. If you learn to speak the right language, the language of symbols and archetypes, then you can place an order. Then the universe listens. So if this old, brilliant Carl Jung could do it, if he could draw the map to this hidden ocean, just imagine for a second what you, with today's knowledge and the guidance you are about to receive, can do tonight in your own bed. You are hackable every single night for about 8 hours. Your mind, your deepest operating system, is wide open, and almost no one uses this incredible potential. This is perhaps the greatest wasted resource of humanity. As we drift off to sleep, the electrical activity of our brain changes. We switch from the fast beta waves of waking, analytical thought to the slower alpha and finally to the theta waves. This state, just before falling asleep, the so-called hypnagogia, is a magical window of opportunity. In this state, the boundary between the conscious mind and the deep subconscious is as thin as tissue paper. Your inner critic, the censor, who questions and talks down everything during the day, is already asleep. But your subconscious is wide awake and extremely receptive to suggestions. It is like a fertile field in which you can plant the seeds for your future. The problem in our modern world, we destroy this magical moment. We take our smartphones to bed, scroll through negative news and the staged success of others. We feed our minds with digital garbage during its most receptive phase, and then wonder why our lives don't turn out the way we wish. The 7 words you are about to learn are your shield and your tool. They are the saviors of this sacred moment. Imagine your subconscious as a gigantic warehouse, as big as Amazon's. It contains everything you could ever wish for: health, wealth, love, peace. The moment of falling asleep is the exclusive time slot for next-day delivery. What you put in your shopping cart at that moment is processed by the system and prepared for shipping. Most people unconsciously put their worries, fears, and thoughts of lack into this cart, night after night, and the system reliably delivers exactly what was ordered. We are going to change that today. In just a few moments, we will put your very own personal order into the shopping cart together. Are you ready for it? Before we reveal the first word of this sacred formula, you must understand its rules. This is essential. If you ignore the rules, you will only be speaking empty husks into the darkness. The words will become a placebo without any effect. This is not an exaggeration. This is the mechanics behind it. So, listen carefully. Rule number 1. Always speak in the present tense and in a possessive form. Your subconscious does not know the future. The concept of tomorrow or sometime does not exist for this part of your mind. If you say, "I will be rich," your subconscious only understands that you are not rich now, and it will continue to manifest this state of not being. You must speak and feel as if it has already happened. Rule number 2. Feeling is more important than grammar. It's not about reciting a sentence perfectly. It's about feeling it with every fiber of your being. The words are just the vehicles. The emotion is the fuel. Better a grammatically incorrect word that gives you goosebumps than a perfect sentence that doesn't touch your heart. The universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to the vibration you emit, and that vibration is generated by your feelings. Rule number 3, and this is a small technical trick that potentiates the effect. Whisper the words on the exhale. Breathe in calmly, and as the air slowly leaves your lungs, you quietly form the words with your lips. This action activates the vagus nerve, the largest nerve of the parasympathetic system, which is responsible for relaxation and calm in your body. It puts you in the optimal state of receiving and sends the signal to your system. This message is safe, true, and is now being integrated. Present tense, feeling, exhaling. These are the 3 pillars. And now, as a small taste, an appetizer for your soul, I will reveal the first 3 of the 7 words. But without the context, just the words themselves. Get ready. The first word is I. The second word, am. The third word, everything. I am everything. Let these 3 words sink in for a moment before we complete the chain. Okay, the energy in the room has already changed. You feel it, don't you? The universe is knocking. It's time to open the door. It's time for the reward for your patience. Here is the complete, unabridged 7-word chain that you will whisper in bed tonight. The formula that can reprogram your reality. I will now reveal the words slowly, one by one. Repeat them silently or quietly after me. Take a deep breath, and on the exhale, whisper, I am everything that my heart desires. I am everything that my heart desires. Let's do that one more time together. I will set a rhythm. Breathe in and out. I, 4-second pause. Am, 4-second pause, everything. 4-second pause, that. 4-second pause, my. 4-second pause, heart. 4-second pause, desires. Take a deep breath. Feel the power that lies in this sentence. It demands nothing. It asks for nothing. It states a condition, a truth. Now it's your turn. I will be silent for a moment. Use this silence. Close your eyes if you like. Breathe in. And now whisper these 7 words for yourself into your room. Do it now. We are waiting. Very good. To anchor this ritual now and give it a physical form, do one thing. Take your phone or open your keyboard and type these exact 7 words into the comments below this video right now. I am everything that my heart desires. This is more than just a comment. It is a written confession. It is a signal to yourself and to the algorithm of the universe. And it creates a cycle of social proof. Everyone who writes this comment reinforces everyone else who reads it. We are creating a wave of collective intention. So, do it now. Type the 7 words. Does all of this sound like hocus pocus, like esoteric wishful thinking? Welcome to the fascinating world of psychoneuroimmunology. That's not a fantasy word, but an established branch of science that examines exactly how our thoughts, psycho, influence our nervous system, neuro, and our immune system, immunology. What you are doing with these 7 words is a highly effective psychological process based on 2 fundamental mechanisms of our brain. The first mechanism is called priming. Imagine you want to buy a red car. Suddenly, you see red cars everywhere. Have they become more numerous? Your brain has been primed for red, and now filters reality accordingly. If you tell yourself before sleep, I am everything that my heart desires, you are programming your brain to see all the opportunities, evidence, and possibilities the next day that correspond to this statement. You are activating the so-called reticular activating system, the bouncer of your consciousness. It now lets through everything that fits your new belief. The second mechanism is the placebo effect, but in the best possible way. You could also call it self-efficacy. The mere belief that something works sets off biochemical processes in our body that can actually bring about healing or change. A meta-study has shown that the mere belief in receiving an effective remedy can increase the statistical hit rate for positive outcomes by up to 42%. You are giving yourself permission to be successful, and your body and mind follow this instruction. Furthermore, these words activate deep-seated archetypes from the collective unconscious that Jung spoke of. I am is the archetype of the creator. Everything is the abundance of the universe. Heart is the symbol of true will and love. Desires is the energy of the hero searching for the treasure. You are speaking a universal language that your deepest psyche understands. And yes, there are even solid studies on this. A small but fascinating paper from 2019, published in the Journal of Cognitive Enhancement, investigated the effect of positive sleep-onset affirmations. The result? The subjects who used this technique had a significantly lower level of the stress hormone cortisol in their blood the next morning. So you're not just changing your thoughts, you're changing your entire body chemistry. Of course, there are also pitfalls. The most common mistake, which is almost tragicomic. One of my viewers reported that he said the words while simultaneously scrolling through Instagram on his phone. His result? the universe delivered more of what he was currently doing. Meaningless distraction. There are 3 common blunders you must avoid at all costs. The first is exactly that: multitasking. Your brain cannot formulate a sacred intention and process cat videos at the same time. Devote your full, undivided attention to this ritual. Second, negative formulations. Never say, "I don't want to have any more debt." Your subconscious ignores the word "don't" and focuses on debt. Always formulate what you want, not what you don't want. So instead of "no debt," say, "I live in financial abundance." The third blunder is mixing up the words or doubting while speaking. The order has an energetic logic. Stick to it. And when doubt comes, notice it, but don't give it energy. And now, for the small improvements, the micro adjustments that can enhance the effect even more. First, light a candle. The candlelight has a calming effect on our nervous system and signals to the brain that a special, ritualistic moment is beginning. Second, place a hand on your heart while speaking. This simple gesture strengthens the physical connection to the words and centers your energy. Third, try to perform the ritual at the same time every evening. This creates a habit, a neurological highway that gets stronger each time. And the social proof? The success stories are overwhelming. I'll read you a few, with names changed, of course. Susie, 28, suddenly had 2 job offers on the table after 2 weeks, after months of rejections. Ahmed, 34, wrote that he received an unexpected tax refund that exactly paid off his maxed-out credit card. These stories are proof that you are not alone. And if you want to add another layer, combine the words with a gratitude playlist that you let play quietly in the background as you fall asleep. We are at the end. And now, your real work begins. Say the 7 words tonight, not tomorrow. Tonight. And then come back to this video tomorrow and write in the comments what happened. Even if it's just a small change, an unexpected call, a feeling of peace, a strange coincidence. Share it. Your success will inspire others. You know how this game works here. A like and a subscription are more than just clicks. They keep the gate open for this kind of information, for you and for others, and they signal to the algorithm that this content has value. Before you go, a little preview. If these 7 words already fascinate you, what do you think will happen if you ask 3 very specific questions right upon waking? A small hint. It multiplies the effect of the nightly work. But that's a story for our next video. Is all of this perhaps complete nonsense, pure imagination, or is it the best 30-second investment you've ever made in your life? There's only one way to find out. The decision is yours. Try it. What do you have to lose, except maybe a life that isn't entirely your own?